I'm Beatrice Fantoni, the food reporter at the Windsor Star. I'm here at Williams Food Equipment with Bob Blumer, aka the Surreal Gourmet, and you might recognize him from Food Network shows like Glutton for Punishment and World's Weirdest Restaurants. And Bob is in Windsor for the weekend.
And who could forget Surreal Gourmet?
Oh, yes, and Surreal
the
Gourmet.
show that started it all.
And so Bob is here in Windsor this weekend for a couple of different events, including the Fork and Fork Festival. So, but Bob, I wanted to ask you, what are you working on here right now at Williams?
I'm doing a little private dinner tonight for 25 people. It's a 5-course surreal meal with some extra appetizers to begin.
Can you give us a sense of what's on the menu?
Oh, let me think. I'm going to serve chicken lollipops, shrimp on the Barbie doll, salmon cupcakes.
And you're sort of known for doing these sort of very unconventional kind of combinations and sort of visual things. Where do you get your inspiration for that kind of food?
Oh, a lot of burgundy. But as you can see back here, I start with really conventional ingredients. I put them together in ways that create very bold flavors, and then I often add a whimsical twist at the end for the presentation.
And can you tell me a little bit about what you'll be doing at the Fork and Fork Festival?
I will be doing some of my favorite recipes, and then I'm also going to do some throwdowns with the audience based on some of the things I learned on Glutton for Punishment.
Neat.
And a couple of my Guinness World Records too.
So there's a little bit of audience participation there?
Oh, for sure, yeah. We're going to put together a Team Windsor relay team to take me on.
Okay. And I also wanted to ask you, what sort of that's going on in the food world right now that's kind of inspiring you?
Well, so many things. I mean, it depends on where you are in the world. But one of the things that's really fun, I'm staying in Toronto at a little apartment right across the street from the Soror Farmers Market, so a beautiful farmers market. And I've been shopping there, and there's a forager stall that's got me all excited because every week he has different things that get flown in from the East Coast and the West Coast, and there's all sorts of different edible seaweeds from the East Coast, and then morel mushrooms have just come in, and every week there's something different. So whereas when you go to a farmers market, you're often inspired by things within the season, that asparagus is coming in or this or that. At a forager stall, it's like there it is, and you know next week it's not going to be there, and something else will be there. So it's even more exciting.
And one last question I have for you is there a particular utensil or ingredient or something in the kitchen that you always like to have around that you couldn't cook without?
Well, I'd say the most important thing in a kitchen is the will to cook, and if you have that and you're into it, and it makes the whole experience fun, then your food's going to taste great, the experience is going to be fun, your friends are going to feed off your energy, and there's nothing else, because you know what, you get the right ingredients, they do all the hard work for you, and despite the fact that we're sitting in an amazing equipment store, there's very little that you have in order to make good food once you have the ingredients.
All right. Okay, well thanks so much, Bob, for speaking with us today. So you're very busy, and if you want to catch Bob Blumer at the Fork and Fork Festival, he's doing demos on Saturday, July 5th, so check out forkandfork.ca for more details. Thanks so much.